All right. Hey, my name is Adeea Rogers. I'm known online as the Trendy Socialite. I started off doing natural hair vlogging back in like maybe 2009, 2010 when I first went natural. Yes, picking up from last night. I'm going to run through the first 10 and then we're going to jump right into that one, to the next ones. So thank you. I appreciate it. So started doing that in 2012. I created an event called International Natural Hair Meetup Day, and it's held in May of every year in about 50 cities worldwide. And from that, I started training and consulting and just helping event planners, but then it eventually morphed into bloggers, vloggers, business owners, brand owners, really find and discover their purpose and to help deploy it. And so, let's see, from there, I have just done a lot in terms of just figuring out my own life, figuring out what my purpose is, and ultimately my purpose is to push others to find their purpose. So I'm actually starting to call myself, and someone was like, yes, that's exactly what you are. I'm like the purpose pusher. Like, I mean, you can't, and people that know me and have had conversations with me that are in this scope will tell you, you really can't have a conversation with me and talk to me about dreams or goals or aspirations or anything like that without like having homework at the end of that conversation. Absolutely, I'm here for that. Hashtag purpose pusher as absolutely what I am called to do. And so I really do believe exactly. I really do believe that everyone has a purpose. Everyone has at least one thing that they are supposed to do, that they were put on this earth specifically to do. And it is my goal, it is my dream, it is my hope that I can help everyone to find that purpose. My goal right now for the next few years is to help at least 1,000 people to find their purpose, find and develop and deploy their purpose. So that's what I'm here to do. And I started doing, when I hopped on Periscope, I was really trying to a little bit find my way a little bit. And so it just came to me sitting at work one day to do a 10 at 10. And because I'm always kind of sharing tips and things like that. And if you've ever been on a webinar, like I give you crazy amounts of stuff. And I wanted an opportunity to share some of that content and to answer some questions, but also to have some live interaction on Periscope. So I started doing the 10 at 10. So if this is your first one, and I'm a night owl, absolutely. So I started doing a 10 at 10, and it's 10 things, and it's either, you know, tips or action steps or resources or tools that you can use to help pursue your purpose, to build your brand, to increase your productivity. But people that have been on these scopes know that it's way more than 10, and that's why tonight is part 2 of the 10 beliefs that you should have about success, because there are actually 21 that I have that I'm going to share, and I was only able to get through the first 10 last night. So I have 11 that I have to get through tonight. Hey, Zora. And so we are going to jump in. I'm going to run really, when I say run, like literally run through the ones that we did yesterday. Yes, Monday through Thursday I do this. I don't do it on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And so far I haven't missed any days. Thank you. I appreciate it. Good evening. Welcome. So last night we talked about, I defined what beliefs are. And that is to accept something as true, to feel sure of something. And I talked about the fact that we need to discern between facts and truth. Truth always trumps facts. And I gave some examples of that. The foundation of this entire scope last night and tonight is a quote by Bob Proctor. And it says, "Belief does not sit on a couch and wait for success to show up." Belief does not sit on a couch and wait for success to show up. That is the foundation. And so we talked about, the first 10 beliefs. And I also love this quote by Mick Jagger. Thank you. I appreciate it, Stacy. Thank you. This quote by Mick Jagger says, "Lose your dreams and you might lose your mind." And that is a harsh reality, but it's very true. I find that thank you for sharing that. I find that people that lose focus or lose sight of their dreams, like all kinds of things just start going wrong all up and through here. Like their mind isn't focused, they're not focused, their heart is just, like kind of wonky, they're irritable, they're cranky, hey, how are you? All of those things. And so you always have to keep your dreams at the centermost of your heart and your mind. Hey, Zora. I know y'all are surprised, right? Anyway, so the first 10 beliefs that I feel like everyone should have about success, and I'm running. Yes, wonky and irritable, Ayana, absolutely. I'm running through these. You can actually listen to the full replay if you want to on my website, adearrogers.com/10at10. Adeea R. Rogers, ADEARROGES.com/10at10. That's 10 at 10. And so last night's replay is already up there. I put it up there today. So you can listen to my full explanation of the 10. Thank you for sharing that. I'm going to run through. So if you see the website there, you might want to take a screenshot of it and do that. Hey, cuz, how are you? So the 10 beliefs that I talked about last night. Number 1, foundation. If you don't believe this, all of the rest really don't matter quite as much. I will succeed. I will succeed. Number 1 belief that you should have about success. Number 2, I determine what success is for me and my family. So what success looks like for me will be different than what it looks like for you. Number 3, another foundational belief about success for me is I am enough. If you don't believe that you are enough, it is going to be so hard for you to accomplish some of the things and to feel successful about your life. Number 4, all things are possible, ... if I try. I posted this on Instagram last week or week before last. The only things that are not possible are the things we do not try. Number 5, the size of my success is in direct proportion, hey boo, to the size of my belief. The more you believe, the more you do, the more successful you are. Yep, if I try, absolutely. Number 6, every action I take is a step toward my success. That's number 6. Every action I take is a step toward my success. Number 7, I have at least one talent or gift to share. I have at least one talent or gift to share. Number 8, at least one person needs to hear my message, buy my products, or employ my services. At least one person needs to hear my message, buy my products, and employ my services. And honestly, it's more than one, but I'm gonna start small for you. Number 9, in the beliefs about success that we should all have. 9, there is freedom in the pursuit of your dreams and purpose. There is freedom in the pursuit of your dreams and your purpose, even when you're tired, even when you are having to say no to things because you are working on your dream and your purpose. There is freedom in that. Yes, give us free. Number 10, in terms of the beliefs that you should have about success, I am willing to do the work consistently. All caps, underline, 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 flashing letters. I am willing to do the work consistently. And I said last night, the only place where success comes before work is in the dictionary. So you can't have success without putting in the work. All right. So those are the first 10 in the beliefs that you should have about success. So now we're going to start with number 11. And it is exactly, no easy road, dictionary.com. Absolutely. And number 11 dovetails right off of number 10, and it is I am willing to make the sacrifice. All my friends, my squad, my blogging friends, my bloggaboos is what I call them, they will tell you, doing anything, my brand owners that are in the room, hairstylists, business owners, they will all tell you that doing this, whatever this is a sacrifice. And especially when you are managing multiple roles, multiple hats, and especially if you have other full-time employment, it is a lot of work and it takes a lot of sacrifice. There are so many times where I wish I could go to bed. Like even today, luckily it stopped raining right before this, right before I got on Scope. But like it was tearing it up for like the last hour. And I was like, oh God, I need to enjoy this under my covers. But I knew I had to be here. And that's not a major. I know I'm not going to bed yet. And it's not a major sacrifice, but when my hair just did something really crazy. Okay. It is still like a lot of times things that I may want to do in the moment, I can't always do because I'm tasked with doing something else, or I'm obligated to do something else. And it's not an obligation in a bad way, but I've committed to do it and I want to do it, and it's part of who I think that I am. And so I have to She threw you off the phone. That's right, honey. Yes, sir. You got to be quiet while the Lord is doing his work. So it takes a lot of sacrifice. Okay, I'm gonna need for you to be nice to hubby after this, if you know what I mean. Be nice, real nice. Because I don't want nobody husband coming looking for me, talking about you have kept my wife from doing her wifely duties. Bruh, not me. Not. Pam, I'm talking to married people. I'm talking to grown married people. Be nice. Absolutely. Drop it like it's hot and on fire. Y'all better act like I'm trying to help y'all stay married. There is a Bible story about Deborah, and her husband's name was Lapidoth. And my mom, when she talks about that story, she calls him Lappy. She's like, you better keep Lappy happy. Yeah, I'm trying to help you. Anyway, so it takes a lot of sacrifice. Yes, I'm trying to help y'all stay married. Because Black love, and especially after today, after I found out Anthony Hamilton is getting a divorce, I need for y'all to stay married. Okay? Anyway, but doing yes, y'all. I posted about it. Madame Noir has a story. Yes, 10 years and 3 kids. Yes. It's really, really sad. So like yesterday, it was Blake Shelton and Miranda Lambert. Today is Anthony Hamilton. I forgot what his wife's name is. I told my boss, I was like, if like Faith Hill and Tim McGraw get divorced, I'm gonna have to take a sabbatical. I'm gonna have to take like a leave of absence from work, because that's gonna be too much. Exactly. Anyway, again, this is why my stuff runs over, because y'all be taking me off topic. So one belief that you have to have about success is that you have to be yes, exactly. Yes, they are getting divorced too. That we have to be willing to make the sacrifice. And those sacrifices, they can be strategic, and they don't have to be constant in a way that you end up neglecting perhaps things that are important to you, your full-time employment, your family, your friends, and those sorts of things. But at times you do have to make strategic sacrifices. And I'm telling you, it is actually worth it, because I will say that for a lot of us, and especially those of us that are considering and wanting to possibly leave our current employment to pursue full-time employment, self-employment, it's going to take some sacrifice in order to build the foundation, in order to be able to have the income coming in that you'll be able to leave your job. And so one of the things that I always say when I talk about the sacrifice is that when you are dealing with the sacrifice, you also have to be sure that you're having conversations with the people that are important in your life. So you can't just be out here freewheeling it and just be like, y'all gonna have to fend for yourself this week for dinner because, I got to do this, I have to do that, I got to run here, I have to run there. No, you really need to have conversations. That's how you get buy-in. That's how that's how you keep Lappy happy. That's how you have people, people in your life not looking at you but so crazy, because you have to have some honest conversations with them. Sit down with your exactly. Sit down with your significant other, your spouse, your partner, and just say, look, I really feel like this is something that I want to do. I need a couple of hours a night to work on this uninterrupted. I need, a couple of hours on Saturday in order to work on this. Let me give y'all also a little trade secret. During football season, let me tell y'all something. Let your husband, let your significant other watch as much football on Sunday afternoon as he wants. Do you know what kind of good work you can get done? Because pregame starts at noon and those games run till 10, 11 o'clock at night. Do you know how much you can get done during football season on Sunday? Girl, I'd be like, you want to go over to your friend's house? Boo, bye. Yes, same thing for on Saturday. Yes, you do watch football with them. Yes, you do, Jonna. So I don't know what you're gonna do. But yes, you can definitely do college and college and professional on Sunday. So yeah, absolutely. So you can have those kind of conversations. And one thing that I tell people that do have families, especially, say things like, if you will just give me from now until 8 o'clock, let me knock these few emails out, let me do record this video or whatever it is that you want to do, and then as soon when 8 o'clock comes, I'll shut this down, we'll watch a movie, we'll go out to dinner, we'll do this, we'll do that, I'll be real nice to you, whatever that looks like. So, and then stick to that. When oh well, handle grown folk business. I appreciate it. All right. So you can Fail, stop. You get me off track. Anyway, have those conversations with people, and then stick to that. What issue do you have with him, if you don't mind? Hey, I know I'm trying to focus, but y'all get me off track. So have those honest conversations with them, and then just kind of have those honest conversations, and then just tell them what it is that you're trying to do. I'm trying to build, the prioritizing. So that's when you're going to really have to be disciplined yourself and then stick to your own schedule and then kind of let him know what that is. But then you also have to factor in what his habits are. So, you know, absolutely. Us time is always difficult. That's a priority. But at the same time, you do need to be able to have some time to do some of what it is that you want to do. I'm not there, and there's balance to that. Yes, it's consistency and communication. And a lot of it, just to me, I just think has to do with you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. Yes, because you know, sometimes Periscope just won't let you be great. So, anyway, if you will, thank you. It is. If you will swipe and invite, I would appreciate it. So, what I was saying is, I think one thing to also consider and to factor in is kind of the schedule of your household in general. So there are times when your house may be a little bit more quiet than others, or where people are out. To me, those are the times that you need to maximize your ability to do some things and to work on your projects and your purpose and your brand and your business. Because you can, I don't mean any harm, you can run the washing machine whenever. You can wash dishes when you're sleepy. You know what I'm saying? So if you find yourself at home alone at 6 o'clock in the evening, you don't necessarily have to. I mean, you can put on a load of clothes, but then work on something that you need to work on, you know? If you can, in the I Grind group, we do this thing called the +1 challenge. And one of the things that we do is called the +1 challenge. And that's where, and you can just do, even if you just do it 1 week out of a month, you will actually gain 7 extra hours. You get up either an hour earlier or you stay up an hour later and work on your brand, work on your things, work on your project, your purpose, whatever it is. So that's one thing that you can consider doing to help find a little bit of extra time. If you work on a job where you get a lunch hour and you feel like you can use that lunch hour to work on your brand, you can do what we call the power lunch hour. And you basically just go somewhere and work for your lunch hour. Like I go to a Panera or McDonald's that has free Wi-Fi and I can eat my lunch while I'm working at the same time. All right. So I hope that helps you. So we're talking about the 10 beliefs to hold about, yes, you do Periscope, watch Periscope on all your hours. I can't work knowing that there's laundry. Yeah, but you know, it's not like you have to use a washboard like you did back in the day. So like you can throw those things in there and use it. Oh, I'll talk about my I Grind group toward the end. Those are my babies. I have a couple of I Grinders in here. Anyway, so we're talking about the 10 beliefs about success. Number 11 is I'm willing to make the sacrifice. Number 12. Absolutely. I mean, you can multitask, but some people use it as an excuse. Like they said, I can't write a blog post because I'm doing laundry. I'm like, oh, so you like use a washboard? Like, are you literally scrubbing it out or something? So I was like, you can throw it in there or you can run laundry when you go to sleep. Just like you run the dishwasher, you can put on a load of clothes when you go to sleep. So yeah, that's how I feel about that. Number 12 in the beliefs that we should all have about success. Yay, bestie, is I will never give up. I will never give up. Because real talk, we all want to give up at some point in time. We all have that feeling. We all feel either overwhelmed, or we feel that it's not going to work, or we feel like we've been doing this so long and we're not seeing any results. So I'm not saying that you won't ever feel like giving up, but you never give up. That's essentially what it is. So the number 12 belief is I will never give up. I will never give up. You have to say that to yourself, because it gets real. It gets tough. Thank you. I appreciate it. It gets rough sometimes, but you have to say, I will never give up. I will never give up. If one door closes, I'll find another door. If there's not another door, then I'll find a window. If there's not a window, I'll come down, lower myself down through the chimney. And if it really gets bad, then I'm just gonna knock some holes in some walls and get in any way I can. You have to have that belief about yourself. If you have to wake up every day and say, I will never give up. If you are working on something and it's not seemingly coming to you the way you want it to, I will never give up. And it changes your energy. It changes your aura. Absolutely. Never let your momentum die. That's true. Yes, I said through a chimney by any means necessary. In the Bible, they lowered the boy down. They took the roof off the house and lowered the boy down in it so Jesus could heal him. Any means necessary. I am about the Malcolm X approach to accomplishing your goals by any means necessary, other than illegal means. But other than that, absolutely, we have to have that mindset that we will never, ever give up. No, see, you know what, Ayana? See, this is why we can't have nice things. Yes, to take the roof off, you do have to know who's on your team, because that's exactly who his team lowered him down to be healed by Jesus. Absolutely. Hi, how are you? Hey. Okay, number 13 in the beliefs about success. My path is unique to me, my life, my experience, and my beliefs. Absolutely. Hold on. Don't quit. So one thing that sometimes trips us up a little bit, is we feel like someone else's path should be our path. And that's not always the case. And that's where knowing yourself is really, really beneficial and is really, really necessary. Absolutely. We think that someone else's path should be our path, and that's not necessarily the case. So that's where you have to, the replay will be also available tomorrow in its entirety on my website. So it'll be adearrogers.com/10at10. No, you can't compare yourself to anyone, and you can't compare your journey, your path, your process, your story to anyone else either. So the number 13 belief that we should have about success is my path is unique to me, my life, my experience, and my beliefs. Thank you for sharing that. So it is so, so, so important that you determine what that path is and what you want that path to be, so that you know when you are taking a hard left and you're not going down the path. That doesn't mean that you don't stay on that path, but you know, hey, this is not really what I wanted. Let me stop and pause for a second and see if this is actually the way I want to do right now. So a lot of times when you look at what people are doing on Instagram. You see the Insta highlights, you see the visual representation of what they do, but you don't actually see the work that goes into it. You don't actually see that they had to wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning to get ready to take that picture at 9, because sometimes it bees like that you don't see that. Like for me, when I went to Return of the Curls the other weekend, people don't know that I woke up after doing, had I started then? I believe I had. After doing 10 at 10, they didn't realize that I got up the next morning. I went to work because I had 2 meetings. I did flyers for my church. I went and had those flyers printed. I went and put some of those flyers up, dropped them off at church, then came home and did something for my mama. So you don't understand, like, you see me all posed up. You don't know that I had been up and running around since like early o'clock that day in order to get things done. You look at my leak and you see, her posing, and you think, you know what she's doing. She gets up at like 4:30, 5 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning. I did have laundry to do as well, in order to get those things done. But again, like I was talking about earlier, they are willing to make that sacrifice. They are willing, hi, how are you? They are willing to do the work that's necessary to do what it is that they want to do, but also to do what they have to do. And you have to realize that what you may have to do is different from what I may have to do. And as long as we can like kind of respect each other's lanes and respect each other's story and what we may have to go through, then things are just a lot easier, and a lot easier for us and a lot easier for you. It's when you try to pound that square peg into a round hole that we have issues, right? Because you're trying to make your life seemingly align with somebody else's, and it's never going to, because it's not your life. So you have to be sure that you know yourself well enough to know what your path, your experience, and everything is supposed to be in order for you to succeed. Number 14 in the beliefs that we should all hold about success is where there is vision, there is provision. This is what my pastor, who's also my mom, says. Where God gives a vision, there is provision. A lot of us, let me tell y'all the story of INHMD. And it's the story of INHMD every year. So, and that's International Natural Hair Meetup Day. For those of you that don't know and haven't been, don't know. So every year, INHMD is a faith walk. And it really is. I genuinely and generally don't know what's going to happen. But I know that God gave the vision. And so where he gives a vision, I fully trust. And when I say fully trust, I fully trust. Like, people are some people don't even believe. Because I know, like last year, it was real iffy about my title sponsor. And I'm sure like my hosts were like, well, what's going on? I don't really know. Is this going to be what it's going to, is it going to be anything? And I was never worried. All right, that's a lie. I was worried a little bit, but even I said, well, I can't worry about it because God gave this vision. He's going to have to figure it out. And I literally believe that. And I know people are like, no, but you got to do the work. I do the work. But I'm always doing the work. I'm always building relationships. I'm always cultivating, and I'm always doing those things. So I fully expected a return on what I had already done. So from that perspective, I really did not worry. I really did put it in his hands. So we have to believe whatever it is that you are called and destined and purposed and want to do, that because it is laid on your heart, you can't run from it, you can't escape it. It keeps you up at night, it wakes you up in the morning, it pushes you, it propels you. And that's what vision is. That's where vision comes from. And because there is that vision there, you have to believe. I want you to believe, grow to believe that there will be provision. So everything that you need, it will be provided. I have never really known how I've come up with some of the processes and the ideas and all of those things as it relates to INHMD. And no, it's not perfect by any means, because I'm not perfect. But at the same time, it comes straight from God. Because I couldn't think of these things myself. I'm smart, but I'm not that smart when it comes to some of this stuff. And this is not even like really my background. My background is more PR and journalism and those sorts of things. Absolutely. When you know you've done your best, it will work out. And so that's what you have to be assured of, where there is vision. And as you are walking out and implementing that vision, you have to believe that there is going to be provision. So for those of you that have not started on your vision, on your purpose, because you are worried about where the resources are going to come from, let me share this with you. Just do it. The cliche is true. When you take one step, he really does take more. So you just have to get out there and do one thing. There is so much that you can do that's DIY and low budget. You don't have to have a $30,000 website. You can have literally like maybe a $200 website to get started. I'm still DIY with my website. I don't have no webmaster. I don't have anybody helping me. It is just me. And if I can't figure it out, guess what? It won't be on the website. Or it's going to be just very, very plain and simple and basic. So don't let those things, absolutely. That's like a nice car full price. Absolutely. But what's important is that you are getting started and that you have that presence out there. And once you do that, once you put, yay. Once you put that out there, things start to happen. It's in The Alchemist. It says, when you put into the atmosphere, when you put out there to the universe what it is that you want, I do push and love, what it is that you want to accomplish, the universe conspires, comes together to make sure that it happens. That's the exact same thing. So even if you're not a Christian, the universe comes together so that whatever it is that you want to accomplish will actually be accomplished. And so you just have to believe that where there is vision, where you have dreams, where you have goals, where you have desires, there will also be provision. Some of it you may have to work a little bit harder and seek. Some of it you may have to do yourself, but the Lord will always provide. If you want to do something and you don't have the cash for it, you just need to be like, okay, help me, lead me in the direction that I need to go that will provide this particular thing. And you can do that for every single step, every single activity, every single thing that you want to do. It can be done if that is your heart, if that is the vision that you have for yourself. All right. Number 15 is one of my favorites. These are the beliefs that you should have about success. Number 15, and I actually want you to say this. I want you to type this in the comments and then give some hearts. I will show up in my own life. I will show up in my own life. Thank you. So many of us don't show up in our own lives. We show up for everything and everybody else. Thank you. We, I mean, we're there for our friends. We're there for our family. We're there for our kids. We're even there for our employer more than we are there for ourselves. That is so unfair to us. You are literally not allowing yourself to be who God really created you to be when you don't show up in your own life. And to me, that is one of the saddest things that I see among a lot of my sisters, is that they literally are not showing up in their own life. All the cliches are true. You teach people how to treat you. If you don't value what you have in your life and what you offer and what you can offer enough, then how in the world can you expect for someone else to? You cannot expect that. Yes, you do. You have to be your authentic and your true self. And you do that by showing up in your own life. You can't be authentic and true and you're not a part of your own life. Like, you're not in it. You aren't there for it. You aren't, like, I just don't understand how people can be so discontent and then blame it on others. It is a function of ourselves. That's how you have people that have been married for so long and don't know each other, because they don't know themselves, right? You have to show up in your own life. I keep saying this. You cannot tell your children or the people in your life that look up to you to pursue their dreams, to pursue their goals, if you are not doing it yourself. You lead by example. And yes, I have been guilty of that too. I have been committed to everyone else but myself, and I can't do that anymore. And I know, this is how well I know myself. When I start getting really, really cranky and irritable, I know that I have been given to others way more than I've been given to myself. And I have to swing the pendulum back toward the middle, because I can't do that. When, I'm going, and it's for somebody else, and I'm not either resting for myself, or I'm not doing the things that I want to do because I'm doing for other people so much, then I'm like, oh, no, hold up, rewind. And I will just tell people, no, I can't do this today. No, I can't help you with that right now. I got to do some other things. Absolutely. Resentment will build. And then because you're also at the same time suppressing it, and when you keep pushing down and you keep pushing down and you keep pushing down the way you feel, it's going to erupt or explode, or something really, really negative is going to happen, and you don't want to do that. So I know myself well enough to know when when things are really getting out of balance. Yeah, I'm not a martyr. Like, I'm not willing to die for somebody else except for Christ. But I'm not willing to die for other people's causes. I'm not willing to sacrifice my own well-being and self-worth to, for somebody else. Like, I don't think I don't think God wants that. I don't think people should expect that. I just, right. I mean, I'm not willing to be a martyr. I'm just not to the detriment of myself. All right. So again, please make a commitment to yourself. Figure out ways to show up in your own life. And that means be there for yourself. Get to know yourself. I keep using this because it is such an amazing example. Like Bishop T.D. Jakes was preaching the other night and was saying, like, how are you going to be 40, 50 years old and you don't know yourself? You have to know yourself. You have to become comfortable. Hi, how are you? You have to become comfortable enough with yourself to be with yourself and to get to know yourself. Because you can't expect for anyone to treat you a certain way when you don't even know exactly how you want to be treated, because you don't exactly know yourself. To thine own self be true. Absolutely. Please show up in your own life. When you do that, you will succeed. And it will also give you the time and the capacity to be there for others and to do for others. Number 15 was, I will show up in my own life. That's what we're talking about right now. Yes, self-actualization. Yep, that's what it is. All right. Number 16 is very, very important as well. And that is, failure is just information. One thing that I had to learn in my life is that failure is a teacher. It is not my undertaker. Meaning, it don't kill me. Failure is not going to kill me. Failure is just information. Right, failure is a good teacher, but it's not your undertaker. And a lot of people view failure as the undertaker, and they bury themselves. Like, they literally almost commit suicide, because they're just like, oh, I failed. I can never do anything again. I'm just gonna go over here and shrivel up. And that is not what is supposed to happen at all. Failure is just information. Yes, failure isn't failure unless it makes you stop fighting and pushing. So what you learn, the information that you learn through failures, and to me, even that is an extreme word, because I just think it's part of our process. It's just part of our journey, is that some things just don't work. Some things we just, aren't supposed to do. It can be a detour, but I think it's just part of the journey. I mean, I can fall in a hole on the path that I'm supposed to be on. It doesn't mean that I go in a different direction. It just means that I climb up out of the hole and keep going. So I really feel like failure is just information. And what it provides is, if nothing else, it tells you what not to do next time. It tells you, yes, but you don't have to internalize what culture says. Like, you can determine what that is for yourself. I mean, I have gotten a D in a course, and I was happy, because that was the best I can do. I am not a science person, and that D was hard earned. I worked for it, and that was the best I could do. So I didn't view myself as a failure because I got a D. I knew that that was the best I could do. And so when we allow sometimes these external voices and these external things to really affect us, we have to push past that. And we can't allow that to overly affect how we view ourselves and how we navigate in this world, because there's a whole lot of stuff out here. And the one thing I always say is, I can twist my own self up. I can make my own self twisted. I can have myself in a ball. Am I a current student? No. I work at a university though. I don't need anybody else to do it. So what you can't do is be out here all in my ear trying to tell me stuff and get me twisted. And and then think that, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just don't really play those kind of games. Like, I just can't really do that. Jonna, what did you say? I missed it. I'm sorry. But yeah, failure is just information. It tells you what not to do. It tells you maybe to make a different decision the next time you're faced with those circumstances. It tells you perhaps to take a different path, but honestly, I think it just tells you to avoid certain things and to avoid certain people, certain pitfalls. And it just matures you and it gives you strength and it builds character. It does all of those things if we allow it to do it. I don't allow failure to categorize me and to dictate my level of success, my level of growth, my level of evolution, because it's just a part. Yes, absolutely. Failing when you did your best and failing when you didn't is two different things. It is, absolutely. And so that's where, again, knowing yourself and knowing what you're capable of is important. A lot of times people really do their best, and that's the best that they can do. But then we really know, like secretly, when we really didn't do our best and we didn't do everything that we were supposed to do. But it still doesn't have to be failure in the sense of you can't recover. It is still a situation where you learn from it, you grow from it, and you move on. What about a job that I don't like and it's making me sick physically? I'm thinking of leaving. So I do think you have to do what is best for you. And you really have to give some serious thought and weigh your options very carefully. And one of the things that you need to figure out is, what is it that you don't like about this job? Is it the work itself? Is it the industry? Is it the people you work with? Is it your supervisor? So that you can avoid maybe those potential pitfalls again. So if your particular job right now has an aspect that comprises a lot of the job that you really don't like, the next job that you take or apply for shouldn't have that aspect as a major part of that job. So if you have to do a weekly report and you absolutely loathe it, you probably shouldn't look for a job that has that same kind of weekly report that you have to do in that job. So a lot of times where we fall into this cycle of being dissatisfied is because we don't really deal with why we are dissatisfied and what is it about our current situation that makes us dissatisfied. Now, sometimes it is internal in terms of we have some issues within ourselves that we have to figure out and work out, and that no job, no amount of money, no nothing would really satisfy us. I have friends like that. Like, they make good money. They have an amazing job that offers variety and growth and, that puts them in front of powerful people, and they're still not happy. I'm looking at them like, really? Really, son? You're not happy? So I know it's something within them, because if you know what I'm saying? So you have to really, again, know yourself, show up in your own life, spend time with yourself, figure out what it is about that situation that is not making you happy. If it is the job itself, then you need to really work diligently, work consistently on making changes, which means that honestly, if it's making you sick physically, you need to go to a doctor and see if there's a way that you can maybe take some short-term disability. You, at the very least, if you don't do that, you need to be applying for at least 5 to 10 jobs every day. You need to be out there applying for so many jobs every day, wherever, if you can afford or if you can have the option to relocate, you need to look outside of your city, outside of your area, but that's what you need to do. We can't always complain about our situation and then not be willing to do the work to change it. So that's what I advise you to do. If it is making you that sick physically, then you need to consult a doctor. But at the very least, you need to be applying for at least 5 to 10 jobs every day. That's what my friend did. She wanted to move. She applied for 5 to 10 jobs every day until she, got something that she wanted and was able to relocate. So yeah, All right. I hope that helps. So again, failure is just information. It should be our teacher, not our undertaker. Do not allow failure to put you in a hole that you cannot dig yourself out of, because it is just information. Number 17, in the beliefs that we should all hold about success is, I will not lose enthusiasm or faith. Now, let me tell you something about enthusiasm. So when you are, this is one of the fundamental differences between passion and purpose. So passion, when you're passionate about something, honestly, the level of enthusiasm fluctuates. When you know that something is your purpose, it never fluctuates. It is constant. It is steady. It is always here. Now, it can go up and down, but it's always here. Whether your passion, you can be like this today and like that tomorrow about it. You can be like this today and that next week about it. So when you are looking at success, though, you need to make sure that you, in order to be successful at the things that are in line with your purpose and even the things that you are passionate about, is that you maintain that enthusiasm. And a lot of times we think that enthusiasm is, I don't know, like something that we're just supposed to feel, like it's just supposed to happen. And sometimes it does, but then sometimes it doesn't. And so that's when you got to put on your big girl panties or big boy panties, briefs, and actually create your own excitement, create your own enthusiasm, and just keep going, even when it's not that fun, or it's not all kicks and giggles and snaps and Instagram selfies and that sort of thing. Like, you have to keep going. You have to build that. You have to keep that enthusiasm going. The same thing with faith. When absolutely you have to do like David did, encourage yourself sometimes. And the same thing with faith. Faith without works is dead. Faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. We always need to see something. We always need to see. We need to see the folk liking our pictures. We need to see folk reading our blog posts. We need to see the folk buying our products. No, sometimes it is the evidence of things not seen, meaning that, you know what, even if I'm the only person reading my blog today, I'm still going to blog. If I'm the only person that likes my Instagram photos, I'm going to still post. If I'm the only one that is using my products right now, I'm still going to make some products. I'm going to have them on the shelf waiting for people when they do decide to come, and buy. I'm going to do the work consistently, because what's going to happen is, if you don't do the work consistently, guess what? When you do get 100 orders and you make a product today and you may not make one for another 2.5, 3 weeks, what you going to do? Absolutely never give up. You see how all of these principles, they just like coincide with one another? Absolutely. So never, ever, ever, ever lose enthusiasm or faith. And those are decisions of your own will. So sometimes you have to make those decisions. You actually have to put forth the effort. It is not always something that is just going to happen, or you're just going to feel. And a lot of times people just expect to feel it. And sometimes it doesn't work like that, but it doesn't mean that it's not there. It doesn't mean that this is not your purpose or your destiny or your goal or what have you. All right, I got a few more. Number 18 in the beliefs that you should have about success is, I will build my brand and pursue my purpose based on faith, not fear. So many of you all give so much credence to fear. It makes me, as a woman of God, would you ever spiritually fast from social media while running a business? I have really, if I clearly knew that God was telling me to do that, I would. I would hope that it wouldn't be for an extended period of time. But I would. I haven't, and I haven't had that leading as of yet, because for me, I know that this is my mission field. Like, social media is part of my mission field, being able to connect with people now on Periscope. Before it was Instagram and Facebook and Twitter. I know that that's part of my mission field, and where a lot of people are really affected by things that they see on social media, and I am too, to a great degree. Wow, 3 months is a long time. And depending on the business and where you typically get your clientele, if you get a lot of them via social media or online, that could be somewhat detrimental. Your option, though, is to have someone else sort of manage that. Like, you physically may not be up there, but if you have an assistant, or maybe you choose to hire an intern during that time so that you don't lose the momentum, then you may want to, you could look at that as an option. But you absolutely, somebody said you have to follow your heart and you have to listen to what God says. But like for me, the things that I see on social media, they don't deeply affect me as they do some people, and I know why people take breaks. I do understand it, but part of my prayer is for me to, and granted, some days I'm not here for it, other days I am. But a lot of times I'm just like, okay, God, just help me put this in proper perspective. Give me a heart of compassion, but at the same time, give me strength to be able to share the messages that I need to share, and have the strength to be able to endure these internets out here, whether it's trolls, whether it's idiots, whether it's racists, whether it's all of this bad news and ratchetness and corruption and all of that kind of thing. I'll repeat it in just a second. Just help me be able to do that. Right. Yeah. I think you have to, people don't want to invest. Yeah. Let's have an offline conversation about that. So if you can email me, thetrendsocialite@gmail.com, you can do that. And let's have an offline conversation about that. All right. So number 18 was, I will build my brand and pursue my purpose based on faith, not fear. And again, like I was saying, so many people are so afraid, and they put so much credence and stock into them being afraid. It has become safe. It has become that warm blanket around them. I'm scared, so I'm just gonna curl up over here because, heaven forbid I actually do something and it works out. But if I did something and it didn't, one time I posted on Instagram, I only got 2 likes. So I'm not going to post anymore. I'm not going to share this great, wonderful product that I made, or this amazing blog post that I wrote. I'm not going to share it anymore. We put so much stock in the fear that we have that we almost we negate the other end of that spectrum, that it could blow up. Yes, people do have a fear of success, but again, that's because some of these other beliefs they don't have in a line. Because I'm not afraid of success, because one, I know I will succeed, and like number 3 says, I am enough. So those things success doesn't frighten me. Because I know I am enough. When you are afraid of success, that means that somewhere on the inside of you, you feel inadequate. You feel like there's something lacking in you, that you don't deserve to succeed. And that is not a good place to be. And that is something that you have to really work on intentionally and internally. And again, it's not an excuse. It's just not an excuse. And so when you start talking that language. Again, I said on my previous scopes, you really have to, every negative thing that you think, you have to immediately and intentionally replace it with something positive. Immediately. You cannot allow negative talk, defeatist attitudes, and sentiments fester or take root, or my grandma used to say, take hold in your life, in your mind, in your spirit, in your conscience, in your subconscious. You can't allow it. So every time you say that I am afraid of success, you say, no, I'm not. I'm equipped to succeed. I am enough. I will succeed. Absolutely. That's what you have to say. You have to, the Bible is clear. You have to take captive every thought that does not align with what God says about you. And that's what you have to do. Every negative thing that you think, you immediately have to replace it with something positive. When I say immediately, you have to be like, even if you have to physically go like this, you have to replace it with something positive immediately. Because if you don't, it'll take root, it'll take fester, and it will start affecting and your actions will be influenced by those negative thoughts. And so I spend a lot of time digging at those points, because I got to dig up those roots of doubt and fear that a lot of people have allowed. The devil is a liar. Let me tell you what about this devil. I'm so sick of him. He made me so sick. But like I was saying, I spend a lot of time digging at those things and harping on those points, because people have allowed that fear, that, and that acronym is so true, false evidence appearing real. They have allowed that to become a reality in their life. And it is not. When you hear the words, I'm afraid of succeeding, like it's one of the most, I don't want to call anybody dumb, but that's dumb. Because everyone inside wants to succeed. And to say that you are afraid of success, what you really are saying is that I feel like I'm not enough. And you can't allow those feelings to take root in your life. And if you have done that up until this point, I am here to push you out of that way of thinking. And I hope and pray that you will not succumb to that way of thinking anymore. So that's why you have to replace every negative thing, every negative thought in your life with something positive. Immediately. Like immediately. Okay? All right, so that was number 18. I will build my brand and pursue my purpose based on faith and not fear. Because again, where God has given the vision, he will also give the provision. So the full scopes are available on my website, adearrogers.com/10at10. This will be up by noon tomorrow. I do a little Instagram graphic that I put on my Instagram page, Trendy Socialite, that you can follow, but it only has 10. And so this one will only have 10, even though I've done 21. All of these won't be on one slide. There will only be 10. And so I give more to the people that sacrifice and take the time to sit through my scopes. I give way more than that. All right, so number 19 in this list is, I will take my own advice. That one's already up on my website. AdeeaRRogers.com/10 at 10, the one from last night. Yep, it's already up. So you can actually go watch it as soon as this one is done. Number 19 is I will take my own advice. A lot of us give great, amazing advice to other people and refuse to take it for ourselves. So all of that great advice that you give your friends, that you even give your clients, that you give everybody else, how about you turn around and take that for yourself? I appreciate you. Please and thank you. Y'all give great advice. Some of y'all have given me great advice and suggestions. And I'll be like, but are you doing it though? Bloop. Exactly. So please take your own advice. You give great advice. So the things, when you see something that you feel like somebody else should do, look and see if that's something that you should actually do as well. So when I give somebody an idea, I'm like, oh, I should do that too. So I do it too. Take your own advice. I know it's easy. I do. I have a lot of faith for somebody else, for other people too. I mean, I get it. I absolutely get it. But even in compiling this list, this has really helped me in terms of what I need to believe about myself, because I push, and sometimes I even say, like, I'll push other people towards their purpose, but I need to push myself in my own purpose, which is pushing you towards your purpose. So I need to understand and apply some of these things to myself. So I'm not telling you anything that I'm not actually sitting here and like from Good Times, and you too, Walona. I'm like, and you too, Adeea. You need to do these things too. Absolutely. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. So again, let's take our own advice, okay? Yes, applying knowledge is wisdom. Yay! I'm so glad. All right, we have two more. Number 20 in the beliefs about success. Thank you so much that you should have. I will focus on what I have to gain, not what I have to lose. What? I will focus on what I have to gain, not what I have to lose. Boom. Again, a lot of us, we operate from this position. Life. How do I know this stuff? Life. I'm telling you, been through a lot. And all of it isn't catastrophic and bad and always traumatic, but I've just been through life. And I have found I've done the good and I've done the bad, and I prefer to try to do the good. And I want you to learn from my mistakes and learn from my experiences and not have to go through what I've had to go through in order to get to these revelations and these points. So I'd rather you walk a more straight and pretty path than having to go through the brickets and the thorns and all of the stuff that I had to go through. So that's where it came from. Anyway, I will focus on what I have to, what I have to gain, not what I have to lose. So what I was saying, a lot of us have this kind of view, we operate from such a position of lack. We operate from such a position of, I don't have, so I can't do. If I were to tell y'all, some of the times where I have done with little to nothing, you would be, and I'm not talking about 5 years ago, 10 years ago. I'm talking about, relatively recently, where I have had to do with not a lot. You would be so utterly amazed and so surprised. So, but I choose not to focus on what I don't have. I choose to focus on what I can gain from that. what I can gain from my experiences, what I can gain from what I offer, what I can gain from the sacrifices that I make and the work that I'm willing to do consistently. I focus on that. I don't focus on what could possibly happen in the negative. But again, it's that fear, and I understand because I've been there too, where I have been afraid to do things, and so I didn't do anything, and someone else ended up getting blessed, or someone else ended up, getting an amazing opportunity because of something that I was afraid to do. And I just refuse to live my life like that anymore. I refuse, because again, where God gives the vision and where he gives the opportunity, because that isn't aligned with that vision, he's also going to give the provision. I have never suffered lack. I have never suffered to the point where I did not have, where my needs were not met. So I choose to focus on what I can gain and not what I have to lose. Absolutely. And you do have to make that declaration. And that's how I choose to view a lot of things. And again, and I have to, look, y'all, look, let me tell you, real talk. I have to make those declarations because doubt does happen. I am scared. I am fearful. Do you know how hard it was for me to say that I want to leave my job, to publicly declare that? I have been talking about that for months, even years, to my family and complaining about it to some of my close friends. But to publicly make that declaration that, no, I am leaving my job. I am going to work for myself full time. I am going to become unemployable in terms of being employed by someone else. Do you know how scary that is? So I have to make these declarations. I have to believe these things, because that's the only thing that is going to combat this fear that I have sometimes, this doubt that I may even have sometimes. Absolutely. You have to speak it into the atmosphere. So I'm not telling you things that I am not experiencing, that I have not experienced before. This is not stuff that, I heard or read. This is my own life. This is what I'm going through. This is what I've been through. And so because of those things, I absolutely have to choose to focus on what I have to gain in situations and not what I have to lose. And you do too. You do too. That's how you have, yep. I said on previous periscopes, I have been nauseous doing it. Do it afraid, as my friends that wrote, whose shoes are you wearing? Julian and Christine say, do it afraid. I absolutely do a lot of things afraid. I am going to be doing a lot of things afraid. There is something that I'm supposed to be doing right now that I haven't done because I am afraid. And so I have to get her done. I can't even show you what it is, but because it's on my phone, but I may post a picture on Instagram. Yes, do it afraid. You have to do it afraid. But yes, there is something that I'm actually supposed to be doing. Only 3 people know about it. No, 4 people know about it, including my mom. So you have to do it afraid. All right, y'all? Focus on what you have to gain, not on what you have to lose. And then the last belief about success is a community sport. Meaning, you cannot do it. Success is not done in a vacuum. It's not done on an island, and it's not done alone. One of the things I love about Natural Nicole is the fact that she says that she wants to have rich friends. I'm totally here for that. Because guess what? I want to have rich friends too. I mean, it's no fun if me and Jonna ain't on the yacht sipping. It's not the same. I don't want to be on the yacht by myself. I don't want to be vacationing in the south of France all alone. Yes, #rich friends. So it is absolutely, success is a community sport. I always say I'm not winning till my whole team is winning. People that have my back, I do need to come to Atlanta for for a vacay. But people that are, that have my back, that are part of my tribe, I want to see you winning. I want to see you doing well, because, then we all can do well. Yes, whole team winning. I need all my friends. I want all my friends, even if you don't want to come off your job, I want you to come off your job, so that on Tuesday, Wednesday morning, when I'm like, guess what you doing today? I'm gonna drive up for lunch, or let's meet here and go do this. Y'all be like, okay, let me hammer out this blog post right quick, and I'll see you. That's what I want. I want to have that kind of life and that kind of flexibility. And so, yes, it is. Success is a community sport. No team wins off of just one player. You can look at the NBA finals and see that. As much as I love LeBron, and I know some people don't like him or whatever, but as much as I love LeBron, he could not win the NBA championship by himself. I know he probably thought he could, but he couldn't. And so when we succeed, we are not just succeeding by ourselves. There are people whose shoulders we are standing on. There are people whose arms we are linked with. There are people who are literally, and not necessarily in a bad way, they are on our coattails, because they are watching what we do and wanting to, come behind us. There are people ahead of us that are where we want to be, that are waiting for us to cross over that bridge. So it's a community sport. You have to realize that that success is not just an island. It's not just something that you achieve by yourself. My success, any success that I have, has been as a result of my relationships and the people that support me, the people that, someone today sent me an electronic gift card for Starbucks, completely out of the blue. You don't understand, because you do understand if you know how much I love Starbucks, but that undergirds me in a way that I don't think people may minimize. Right, it's a blessing, absolutely, but that's part of that community. That's part of people believing in what you do, that, even in what others may view as an insignificant way, they're like, I want to be a part of your success. I want to, give you that little thing that I know that you like, that's going to make your day a little bit brighter, so you can go out here and do those things. And I know that's exactly why this person did that. So I don't take any of that stuff for granted. I have an amazing community of supporters. Y'all, it's 11:36. Y'all still sitting up. There are 39 of you sitting up here at 11:36 and know we got to go to work tomorrow, most of us. And you're still sitting up here. I don't take that for granted or lightly. Absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. But it's a community. And so because you all give to me in tangible, intangible, significant, small, all kinds of ways, exactly. I've been missing Golden Girls too. Like, I watch it every night from 11 to 1 or whenever I go to sleep. But because you all do that in those ways, I want to see you succeed. I want to see you do well. Right? So yes, that is support. I appreciate you. Thank you for being a friend. All right. So those are my 21 beliefs about the success that I think we all should have. Do y'all want me to run back through all of them or just the ones I did tonight? Oh, you're so sweet. I hope she is. I think she is. Okay. I will. All of them. You're so, oh, thank you so much. You're sweet. All right. All right, so we're gonna run back through these. If I'm gonna make a couple of announcements, and then I'm gonna run back through them. So in case somebody wants to hop off because you have them, then you're able to do that. So tomorrow, what I'm talking about are the 10 ways that you can care for yourself without losing momentum. So we're gonna talk about self-care tomorrow, and then. Oh, I'm sorry. You tapping the screen? And then Thursday, I forgot what I'm talking about on Thursday. Hold on, let me see if I can figure it. I don't remember. Anyway, so yeah, but tomorrow we're talking about self-care, I think. Oh, and then Thursday we're going to talk about 10 natural hair must-haves for an enjoyable journey. Oh, that's true too. Yeah, you might be out of hearts. So you'll just have to log off and log back in and do that. And then next week we're talking about 10 ways to increase your productivity and 10 ways to pursue your purpose without guilt. Yeah, you do. They give you 500 hearts per time. Let me see what else I want to talk about. Remember again that you can catch these replays. The replay for tonight will be up on the website by lunchtime tomorrow. And you can catch those at adearrogers.com/10at10. And let's see what else. I think that is it for now. Oh, if you are interested, for those of you that may be brand owners, service providers, content creators, we do have a group and a phenomenon really that's called Black Biscope Fridays. And it's for, like I said, Black-owned businesses, service providers, content creators, what have you, every Friday from 10 to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And now we've extended Fridays from 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You can, good night, boo. You can have a 5 to 10 minute window to talk about your business or the service you provide or the content that you create. And if you send an email to join@blackbiscope.com, you can submit with your name, your website, your email, and the type of business that you have, a little description about it. We will schedule you for a time to actually do that. And it's a community-based initiative created by Pamela Booker of Coils by Nature, myself, and Christine of Moms in Charge No I. So it's a great group. We're already into September with some of our scopes. So it's an amazing opportunity. We actually were just featured in an article today on Atlanta Star, Black Atlanta Star, something like that. Okay, do that. And you are able to you're able to see that. So we've already been featured about people using Periscope and how we're using it. And for those of you that are on it, especially those of you that are creating content, we are considered the early adopters. And this is a great, great time to be on Periscope and building our communities before it gets saturated. And I was listening to an Periscope join at blackbiscope.com. JOIN at blackbiscope.com. So the expert was saying that this is a great time to do that before it gets saturated, and within the next 12 months it will be huge, and there will be all these people claiming and clamoring that they're experts and different things like that. All right, sorry about that. So I would also say that make sure you follow me. So, all right, have a good one. So you don't miss notifications of when I scope. I usually scope on my way to work, and that's like some of my morning thoughts and musings. And then I also do this. So I'm usually on at least twice a day, at the beginning of the day and then toward the end of the day. Sometimes it's more depending on what I have to talk about. Anyway, we're going to run back through the 21 beliefs that I have that, Bible, the 21 beliefs that I feel we should all have about success. So number 1 is I will succeed. Number 2, I determine what success is for me and my family. Number 1, I will succeed. Number 2, I determine what success is for me and my family. Number 3, I am enough. Number 4, all things are possible if I try. All things are possible if I try. Number 5, the size of my success is in direct proportion to the size of my belief. The size of my success is in direct proportion to the size of my belief. I'm going over my 21 beliefs about success. This is Adeea Rogers, a trendy socialite, doing the 10 at 10, which is actually more than 10, but yeah. You get it. So we're on number 6. Every action I take is a step toward my success. Every action I take is a step toward my success. Number 7, I have at least one gift or talent to share. Hello. I have at least one gift or talent to share. Number 8, at least one person needs to hear my message, buy my products, or employ my services. At least one person needs to hear my message, buy my products, or employ my services. Number 9, in the beliefs that we should all hold about success, there is freedom in the pursuit of your dreams and purpose. There is freedom in the pursuit of your dreams and purpose. Number 10, I am willing to do the work consistently. All caps, underline, 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 flashing letters. I am willing to do the work consistently. Number 11, in the beliefs that we should have about success, I am willing to make the sacrifice. I am willing to make the sacrifice. Number 12, I will never give up. I will never give up. Number 13, my path is unique to me, my life, my experience, and my beliefs. My path is unique to me, my life, my experiences, and my beliefs. Number 14, in the replay is available on my website, adearrogers.com/10at10. So you can catch it there. Both the replay from last night, which had the first 10, and the replay from tonight, which had these last 11. And so you can watch it at your leisure and pause and rewind and all that kind of stuff. All right. Number 14 is where there is vision, there will be provision. Where there is vision, there will be provision. Number 15, I will show up in my own life. I will show up in my own life. Number 16, failure is just information. Failure is just information. Failure should be our teacher, not our undertaker. Number 17, in the beliefs that we should all hold about success, I will not lose enthusiasm or faith. I will not lose enthusiasm or faith. Number 18, in the beliefs that we should all hold about success, all right, take care. I will build my brand and pursue my purpose based on faith and not fear. I will build my brand and pursue my purpose based on faith and not fear. Number 19, I will take my own advice. Number 20, I will focus on what I have to gain, not what I have to lose. I will focus on what I have to gain, not what I have to lose. And the last belief about success that I feel like we should all have, success is a community sport. Success is a community sport. For those of you that are new and just joining, my name is Adeea Rogers, known online as the Trendy Socialite. Please connect with me and follow me on Instagram, Trendy Socialite, Twitter, Trendy Socialite. Please also follow me here on Periscope so that you are aware of whenever I'm doing various scopes. Again, I usually scope in the morning on my way to work, and I do this 10 at 10 every night where I share at least 10 things. It's minimally 10 things, usually more, that will help you pursue your purpose, build your brand, or increase your productivity. This particular Periscope about these beliefs of success are they're available in two parts on my website, adeearrogers.com/10at10, which is 10 at 10. So you can go to adeearrogers.com/10at10. And you can find actually all but one of all of the 10 at 10s that I've done so far on that website, and you can feel free to listen to any of them up there. So what will happen is, especially if you follow me on Instagram, there will be tomorrow, there will be a little recap caption or a recap graphic that will have 10 of these. It won't have all of these. So because you take the time and the sacrifice, that's why I give you more actually on this broadcast. And then if you watch the replay and you sit down and make time to do that, then you get the same thing. But what I post on Instagram is just a snippet. That's why I always give y'all more up here. So I appreciate you all for making that sacrifice and taking the time out to do that. Are there any questions right now? Thank you again for all of your support. Tomorrow, what we're going to talk about are 10 ways to care for yourself without losing your momentum. I hope that you will join me tomorrow because self-care is important. We all need to do that, and it's important. You are so welcome. So welcome. We all need to do that, but we can do it in a way where we don't lose momentum. We don't feel like we're failing. We don't feel like we're neglecting those things that we want to do and those things that we have to do. So that's what we're going to talk about tomorrow. It's at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do a 10 at 10. So Monday through Thursday, 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Oh, you're welcome. You're welcome. You're welcome. Don't forget to follow me, 10 at 10. All right, y'all. Have a great evening. Remember some of these beliefs. If you especially say to yourself every day, I will succeed. I am enough. I will not lose faith. I will not lose enthusiasm. I will not give up. All right? Yay! See y'all later. Hey, catch the replay or watch it on my website. to the person that just joined. All right. Take care. Have a great evening, y'all. Be blessed.
Campers, I promise you. But the Florida price is just fine. The Florida price, Kathy, I'll do this for you. If you sign up tomorrow, what state are you in? If you sign up tomorrow before it's then I will allow you to have the bonus, okay? But beyond that, no one else is getting the bonus time. Oh, okay. So do it before 12 o'clock Eastern. So do it before 9, I'm going to do it before 9 a.m. Before 9 a.m. And I'll make sure you still get the bonus coaching time with me. Bye tonight. I'm getting off too. Happy anniversary, Kathy. I welcome to Adeea. Jim, good night. Welcome to